in Capital News tonight. The World Bank gives 1.42 trillion shillings concessional loan to the government of Tanzania. The government gives an additional 84 billion shillings for higher education student loans. And in sports, Mtibwa Kagera win in NBC Premier League games. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get things started with the national news. The World Bank has signed an agreement giving the government of Tanzania a 1.42 trillion shilling concessional loan, funds that will be used to build the Jangwani Bridge and distribution of energy.
Miradi yote itachochea ukuaji wa uchumi kama ambavyo waziri wa sekta ataelezea kwa upande wa nishati, lakini kwa upande wa daraja pamoja na bonde la Msimbazi tunaamini kwamba itaenda kuondoa adha ya mafuriko, lakini pia na kufungua shughuli za kiuchumi ambazo huwa zinafunga pale panapokuwepo na mafuriko katika jiji la Dar es Salaam.
Na zinahitajika nyingi zaidi kuliko hizi za leo, lakini huu ni mwanzo mzuri na mwelekeo mzuri, na tunapenda kuwapongeza na kuwashukuru wenzetu wa Wizara ya Fedha wakiongozwa na Waziri Mheshimiwa Mwigulu Nchemba.
Dar es Salaam has experienced steady growth in population and rapid urbanization. With 5.3 million people, it's the largest urban center in Tanzania and also one of the fastest growing cities in the region. Economically, its importance cannot be overstated. For the country and for its central road and regional trade facilitation and integration as the gateway to landlocked neighborhoods.
And the government has added 84 billion shillings for higher education student loans for the 2022-2023 year, bringing the amount to 654 billion shillings. That is intended to benefit 71,000 first-year students. The managing director of the Higher Education Student Loans Board, Abdul Razak Badru, has said the increase will enable them to give loans to 28,000 students who have already been approved to get the loans.
Manake ni kwamba kile kiasi ambacho kitakachopitishwa kwa ajili ya kuongeza kwenye bajeti ya mwaka huu kitawezesha sasa bajeti nzima ile itatoka 570 itakwenda 654. Maana ya 654 kwa lugha nyepesi ni kwamba kama kiasi hicho kisingeongezeka, takriban wanafunzi 28,000 wasingepangiwa mkopo kwa mwaka huu, wa mwaka wa kwanza. Kwa hiyo kwa uamuzi na uelekeo huo wa serikali, naomba niwafahamishe kwamba hiyo ni habari njema.
Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM Party has cancelled the election results of the party's youth wing in Simiyu region, as well as halted the elections of members for the National Executive Council meeting NEC in Mbeya and Arusha, following allegations of some candidates engaging in corruption.
Lakini pia kuna uchaguzi uliofanyika jana wa mkoa wa Magharibi, mkoa wa kichama wa Magharibi, Zanzibar.
There are elections that took place yesterday at the party's West region in Zanzibar, where there were complaints by some candidates and some councillors on members taking the voting box and taking it to the room prepared for counting votes. We want to know, was the intention of taking the box to take the votes to be counted, or was there another intention? We are conducting an in-depth investigation, and once we are satisfied, we will take action if necessary. Elections in the regions we halted for different reasons are ongoing in different levels. The challenges we face now are a few smart people vying for different positions, or their supporters pushing that they are more special than others and that they are more needed by her leaders than the others.
The former goalkeepers coach for Simba Sports Club in Dar es Salaam, Mwarami Sultan, the owner of Cambiaso Sports Academy in Tuangoma, Kigamboni District, Kwambi Safe, and 4 others have been brought before Kisutu Magistrate Court to face 2 charges of transporting illegal drugs. Here's the report.
In the charge sheet read by the Senior State Prosecutor Grace Mwanga, the other accused were listed as Maulid Mzungu, Said Matwiko, John Andrew John, and Sarah Eliud. It was claimed before Resident Magistrate Mary Mrio that on October 27, 2022, at Kivule area within Ilala District in Dar es Salaam, the accused were found transporting 27.10 kilos of heroin. In the second charge, it was alleged that on November 4, 2022, at Kamegele in Mkuranga District Coast Region, the accused were found transporting 7.79 kilos of heroin. The accused were not permitted to answer as the court does not have the mandate to listen to economic sabotage cases. According to the prosecution, investigations into the case have not been completed, with the case adjourned to December 5th of this year.
The directive by Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has begun to be implemented after the Ministry of Works and Transport began to rehabilitate the rail entering the port so that it can be used for transporting consignments of goods.
Ndani ya siku 10 kuanzia sasa tutapitisha kichwa cha treni.
Within 10 days from now, we will bring the locomotive directly to the port. We've already started cleaning up, and we are working on the directives given by the Vice President. As directed by the VP, the builders should have this job completed within this week on both sides, and within 10 days, we should see the locomotive reach the point where we'll load and offload things from the port.
Ni zile reli za paundi 60. Kwa hiyo yani miundombinu wa reli yenyewe kama ulivyo hapa chini upo intact, bado uko vizuri kabisa, yani haujawa corroded na uko vizuri na uko imara kabisa. Kwa hiyo kwa hali hii kama tukisharekebisha hii tukafukua na gari zinaweza kuendelea bila shida kabisa.
The National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, has completed construction of modern food storage warehouses in Manyara region with a capacity of storing 40,000 tons of food, which will help resolve food availability challenges in the region as well as in northern regions.
Kuna kazi ambazo zilikuwa zinafanyika za msingi ambazo zikiwa ni pamoja na
There were key jobs being done which include building 8 modern storage facilities which have the capability of storing 25,000 tons, as well as building modern warehouses which can store 15,000 tons. This brings the total of 40,000 tons. I commend the NFRA for storing food, and we have been told now that there is a lot of food in storage.
Kuendelea kuhifadhi chakula hasa ukiangalia hawa mawakala ama wadau wa kuhifadhi chakula kwa sehemu zao nyingi sana wamehifadhi chakula kingi sana hasa ukiangalia kipindi hiki cha ukame ambapo chakula bado kipo.
The Rural Energy Agency, RES, entered into an agreement with 6 companies to implement a strategic plan on electricity distribution in rural areas at health centers and water wells. This is to ensure availability of running water as well as combat the spread of communicable diseases.
Wakati tumepata changamoto ya uviko 19, njia mojawapo ya kupambana ilikuwa ni kunawa maji tiririka. Lakini kama tunavyoelewa kuna maeneo wenzetu wa sekta za maji wanapambana kupeleka maji, lakini huwezi kusambaza maji kama una chanzo muhimu cha umeme. Kama mtu alikuwa amezoea kwamba akipata mkataba alafu anaangalia atafanya nini ili mkataba uongezwe ili amalizie kazi zingine alizokuwa nazo, huko haitawezekana.
Pamoja na hiyo kuunga mkono jitihada za serikali kuhakikisha vijiji vyote vinapata umeme, bado tulipopata changamoto sasa ya uviko tena wakarudi sema bwana tuje na mpango maalum sasa. Na hiyo imaanishi kwamba hospitali na vituo vya maji havipati umeme kwenye miradi yetu ile ya kawaida, hapana.
Sababu tunaposaini makubaliano na serikali ya Tanzania na maana tayari pesa zipo. Kwa hiyo wakandarasi naomba kuwatoa hofu kwamba pesa zipo. Kwa hiyo pesa kama hivyo katika miradi mingine ambayo tunafanya na wakala, sio tatizo. Kwa hiyo kama pesa zipo, nadhani sasa leo baki ni kazi.
The police force in Shinyanga region has seized firearms, including 2 AK-47s and 2 guns alleged to have been used in criminal activities, with 30 firearms owned by various citizens without legal permits also surrendered to the police.
Jeshi la polisi mkoa wa Shinyanga kupitia misako na operesheni mbalimbali katika kipindi cha miezi mitatu.
The police force in Shinyanga, through investigations and various operations in 2 months from September 2022, November 2022, has caught firearms including 2 AK-47s, 27 civilian guns, 9 shotguns, 5 rifles, 3 pistols, 12 motorcycles and 1 bicycle, which were stolen property being used to commit crimes.
Mali ya wizi zilizokuwa zikitumika kutendea uhalifu.
And that is all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, preliminary election results released by Equatorial Guinea's government on Monday showed the ruling party winning over 99% of votes counted so far in presidential, legislative and municipal elections held on Sunday, November 20th. 8-year-old President Teodoro Obiang is seeking to extend his 43 years in office, with counting to continue on Monday. More than 400,000 people registered to vote in the country of about 1.5 million. And in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the joint military forces from East Africa have called on all armed groups, including the M23 rebel group, to surrender their weapons, being measures taken to address insecurity in eastern DRC.
Tuko na wandugu yetu wa Kenya ambao mnajua walikuja ili tupate kuungana mkono ili tupate kumaliza tatizo ambayo tunayo hapa kwenye nchi yetu ya DRC. Tunajua kama kunakuwa siku kadhaa M23 na jeshi la Rwanda tayari walivuka mipaka na kuingia Kongo, na kwa muda huu maraisi wa East African Community walipatana kwamba inaomba hawa Wanyarwanda ama jeshi la Rwanda na M23 watie silaha chini na warudi.
In Kenya, quack Dr. Mugo Wairimu has been sentenced to 29 years, 6 months in prison after being found guilty of running an illegal clinic and drugging patients. Magistrate Wendy Muchemi said Mugo is a danger to society and should therefore be kept away for a long time. Prestige Hospital, the clinic he was running alongside a pharmacy, was found to be illegal and not registered. Mugo has been in custody for 4 years.
How he opted to use or utilize his acquired skills that he attained at the University of Nairobi. In fact, and indeed, counts number 2 to 12, which are those of licenses, do not call for stiff penalties. There are fines ranging between 30,000 shillings to 100,000 shillings. There's just 1 or 2 which call for up to a fine of 5 million shillings. But this, in as much as they are serious offenses, they are not what is the critical issue that is weighing on this court.
Yes, I faced criminal charges, and that is unfortunate.
President Emmanuel Macron of France has commended President Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi on efforts being taken to develop the nation as well as the East African region. President Macron made the remarks after holding talks with the Burundian president on the sidelines of the 18th Francophone Summit in Djerba, Tunisia. Among issues discussed by the French-speaking countries included debt relief, migration, food and energy shortages, caused by Russia's war on Ukraine. And South Africa's Supreme Court of Appeal has ruled that the decision to release former President Jacob Zuma on early medical parole was unlawful and that he should return to prison to finish his sentence for contempt of court. Last year, Zuma was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment after ignoring a court order to testify at a government inquiry into widespread corruption during his near decade as president. In September 2021, Zuma was released on medical parole after serving a fraction of the sentence. But in December, the High Court set aside the parole decision and ordered him to return to jail. And that is the end of the international news. Business news is next after the break. And now in business news. The government, through the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, has directed all telecommunication service providers not to make any changes to bundle charges until the government completes evaluating and reviewing the fees.
Tathmini hii inafanya mapitio ya gharama halisi za utoaji wa huduma.
This evaluation will look into the realistic prices to provide communication services in the country, and after the evaluation, a set price. When it was done in 2018, we got the range of 2.03 to 9.35, so the exercise is ongoing and we expect the results to be submitted by December to January. We, as the Tanzania Communications Regulatory Authority, that there will not be any changes in mobile bundle prices during the period as the evaluation is ongoing until it is completed.
The Bakery Association in the country has said that many bakers have closed businesses due to numerous taxes charged on flour products. They have also urged the government to remove VAT on bread.
Tumeiomba serikali, nadhani bado tuna maandishi ambayo tunatuma. Unajua sisi tunauza bidhaa ambayo iko.
We sell products that are VAT taxable, but we use a lot of materials such as flour that do not have VAT.
Kwa hiyo labda serikali iweze kuangalia.
We ask the government to look and see about getting us the goods and getting it to us on time. We also ask that the price be reduced slightly so that our products can reach all customers. The Ministry of Finance and Planning has said it will continue to receive views from citizens and stakeholders on various financial systems in order to improve services provided by financial institutions in the country.
Kimsingi madhumuni hasa ya kufanya maadhimisho haya ni kutoa elimu kwa umma.
The reason behind these commemorations is to provide education to the public, to citizens on various important issues on the finance sector. It is one of our goals in the main plan for the finance sector, which we have been preparing for the next 10 years. One of the things we intend to implement in that period is to ensure more Tanzanians receive financial education.
Pamoja na elimu ya bima ambayo tunakwenda kutoa katika maeneo haya.
Apart from the insurance education we are going to provide in these areas, we are also going to provide services for those that want to register to be service providers for insurance, and we will provide the registration here directly. We will also receive complaints from the public and customers.
Wananchi wengi hawafahamu kuhusiana na majukumu ya benki kuu, kwa hiyo
many citizens do not understand the responsibilities of the Bank of Tanzania, so we as BOT will participate and provide education. We have with us 15 banks and MNOs, so we invite citizens to come and learn more.
That is all for Business News. Sports is next. In sports, the NBC Premier League proceeded today with Mtibwa Sugar coming from behind to defeat Police Tanzania by 2-1. Police went ahead through Ambrose Awio before Ismail Mhesa cancelled the goal and Onesmo Mayaya gave Mtibwa the win. In the afternoon game, Meshak Mwamita's sole goal gave Kagera a 1-0 win against Tanzania Prisons. And Tanzania swimming team has won the Kana Zone 3 championships, which were taking place at the Gymkhana pool in Dar es Salaam. Here's more.
The team accumulated a total of 3,061 points ahead of SMF, who had 2,768, with last year's champions Uganda finishing third with 2,521 points. Sudan will host the competition next year, with its team being the open water champions, despite failure to conduct the competition in the ocean due to infrastructural reasons. The competition had 10 teams participating, with 2 Zone 4 countries of Zambia and South Africa being invited teams.
Youth teams from the Dar es Salaam Soccer Academy will represent Tanzania in the youth football tournament in Dubai that will start this Thursday, with the teams expected to leave for Dubai on Wednesday night.
I'm inside to support these kids, and I will travel with them for 5 days and come back with them together. It's a Wujal Winter Club in Dubai, and there are some few teams are participating in Dubai. We are going as Tanzania, that's why you saw we are flagging of Tanzanian flag, and we'll represent our Tanzanian.
I'm really proud of myself that I've been chosen to go abroad to play in Dubai. I thank my parents, my friends, everyone. My target is to win trophies and bring them to Dar, represent Tanzania. Inshallah, we'll bring trophies home.
And England's World Cup campaign opened in a thoroughly convincing fashion as they outclassed Iran in Doha. Bukayo Saka scored a brace with Jude Bellingham, Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling and Jack Grealish scoring the other goals, giving England a dream start. Iran put 2 back through Mehdi Taremi. And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, thank you for watching and good night.
At 9:30 and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103 and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania.
Ni msimu wa kusherehekea, ni msimu wa furaha na upendo, na ITV, Radio 1, Capital Radio na Capital TV tupo pamoja nawe. Tumekuandalia punguzo kubwa la bei kwa matangazo yako. Ewe mfanyabiashara, mwaka huu usikubali kuachwa nyuma. Njoo utangaze nasi bidhaa na huduma zako kwa bei za kujiachia kabisa. Kwa ITV utapata matangazo 5 ya graphics kwa $500 tu, na kwa Radio 1 utalipa matangazo 5 ya kawaida na utapata matangazo 2 bure. Capital TV, Capital Radio na Digital, kote bei ni karibu na bure. Usiseme hukujua. Ofa hii ni kuanzia tarehe 15 Novemba mpaka tarehe 15 Januari 2023. Vigezo na masharti kuzingatiwa. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana na idara ya masoko kwa simu namba 0658 777144 au 0784 611112 au 0783 892833.
TV na msikilizaji kupitia Radio 1 na Capital Radio, na wewe unatufuatilia kupitia mitandao mbalimbali ya kijamii, na kukaribisha sana kwenye kipima joto Ijumaa hii ya leo, kipindi cha saa 2 kipindi ambacho kinakupa mada mbalimbali ambazo zinahusu jamii ambayo inatuzunguka. Tunazungumza kuhusu siasa, tunazungumza kuhusu uchumi, afya, maendeleo ya jamii, sayansi na teknolojia yake, usalama wa raia na mali zao, halikadhalika habari za kimichezo na burudani, ilimradi tu jambo hilo limetokea katika jamii inayotuzunguka.